just some information on winter lettuce sowing. So I suppose for me, I have all my lettuce indoors over the winter time, so my last sowing is around, it's usually the first week in September, but you can do it up to mid-September, end of September if it's going indoors. If you're planting lettuce outside, you're looking at August sowings at the latest for it to be in the ground, then to harvest. But if it's outdoor again, it's probably you'll probably harvest up until around October, November, and then it won't do much. So for kind of year-round supply, you really need to have polytunnels, in my opinion. So for me then, so mid-September would be the last sowing. So here I have just a couple of different varieties. So you just have to take note and make sure the varieties you choose are actually suitable for overwinter growing. In the past I've grown some varieties like Serbiata, I think is one of them, and I can't think of the name. There was a couple of ones that I'd used during the season, but they didn't work over winter. They got downy mildew. So now I just concentrate on varieties such as Brighton, Ginkgo, Farraga are a couple of the salad ones. Now, in addition to that, the Salanova varieties seem to do well over the winter time. So I have a mix of them here. So that's just, I'm seeding one seed per cell, and they will come on into a head. So some of the other ones that I have here, then there's the Winter Gem and Brighton. If some of those will work, they're not the Salanova types, but they also work. And for some reason the cat seems to find me when I have the video on, so just ignore her in the corner there. So this is just the sowing along here of the salad that I've been pulling out of. This was seeded in August, and it's coming on. So it's predominantly the Salanova. So you can see here just the heads. I've spaced them a little further apart for this sowing because I have the room in the tunnel. I can afford them a little bit of space, so they're like a foot apart, and just to cut down, on them getting I suppose just to improve the ventilation. And in addition here then I have just some of the ones that are multi-seeded. So I have some gems, and I can't remember the other variety here. It's a red variety. So what I do in the winter time then, if I come down really close, I'm just taking the bottom leaves. So that's the way, because the growth slows down, I'm not cutting the whole head at a time. So I'll just continue to cut the outer leaves. So when the growth slows, then what you're looking at then is you're sowing more, but you'll get less because the regrowth is a lot slower. So you double what you would normally do, or sometimes you might even triple the amount that you would put, or what you would seed at a time. So basically you're seeding further apart, but you're just growing more during the colder parts or the slower time of the year. So starting in August then I would double up on my seeding, and I would do the same then at the beginning of the season, maybe when I start in February, and then it comes back. You're seeding more often, but you're just seeding less. It takes a while to get a handle on that, so it's really just trial and error. So just a couple of varieties here then. These are the Salanovas. So let me think what I have. I have a Barlac, Extranet, Codex, and then there's another one that's just actually a number, but I can't remember it. But they do really well. So again, just to be mindful that for winter sowing, you need to be thinking about it in July, I suppose, if it's going outdoors, and then from August to September if it's going indoors. And you'll notice there's a couple of gaps in the bed. So I had that was from cutworm, that larvae of one of the moths, can't think of the name of it. So I lost a few, and what I did was I brought in a nematode, a biological control. I sprayed the whole area, and it seems to have it under control. So that's just something else to be mindful of. And then I forgot to mention another one that works well over the winter is the winter purslane. So I have it here, and again, you just multi-sow it, and this will go into the ground. This is a lovely succulent leaf over the winter time. It's very hardy, it'll work well. So that's something else you could put into your list. And that's just a little bit on winter salad sowing.